Congratulations, everybody. This is the Morning Garden Show, and it's the first time I'm going online and I'm on schedule. Uh, so what I did today, first of all, hello to everyone out there. This is the Morning Garden Show. I really appreciate each and every one of you tuning in. Thank you very much for coming to see me live. I just came from my favorite place, which is the yard, looking at some plants and doing some thinning. And got the peaches thinned down where I want them now, and I'm happy. Um, I checked on the plants that um, that in fact I planted without digging a hole. I actually put some corn in the ground with just using just a poke of my poking stick, and I put the seeds in there. So I want to see how that turns out. I'm really excited about that. That's corn. I also did cucumbers like that, man. I did some squash like that. So looking forward to seeing what that turns out, how it turns out, rather. We had temperatures last night that dropped down to 40 degrees. That in and of itself is quite a challenge for quite a few different vegetables. But I am waiting and excited, and I think that right now we have cloudy skies. Tomorrow expected. Hello, how you doing? How you doing? We're expecting temperatures to be around 80 degrees tomorrow. And we got some rain in store for later in the week and on through the weekend. So I have a couple of things I have to do. Once I get out there in the let's see, yeah, I have to. Okay, a couple of things I have to do tomorrow, which is feed all the plants. That's going to take about an hour and a half to feed all the trees, and then the grapevines and the kiwi plants. Everything that I have out there basically needs to be fed, and that's very important because a lot of people they don't feed their plants. Once they get them in the ground, they kind of go, okay, it's okay. And a lot of misinformation that we receive a lot of times is really bad information they give us, really bad information. So, Brown, what's on your mind for the day? How's your garden coming along? Have you? Oh, okay. Listen to it's 90. It's 90 in Florida. Everyone inside today too hot. Oh my goodness, you're dealing with heat. You're dealing with heat in Florida. Um, wow, Florida. I mean, we hear so many good things about Florida, about the weather. It's incredible for things like gardening and farming. Um, that it never quite gets cold there. Um, but we can definitely go down here. The temperature could go down to up. I lived in Maryland here for a number of years, and the lowest I've seen it go was maybe 6 degrees. 6 degrees is interesting. That's when you know if your car is really tuned up correctly because it will not start when it gets that cold. Yeah. Listen to the melody. Listen to the music on the radio. Let's see. So what happened is we're doing good here. Temperature's starting to go up, 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 up. We need that because we've been submerged in cold for so long. It just doesn't feel right. It just doesn't feel right. It's not normal. So we're hoping that Garden City Food Forest. Hello, how you doing? Did you catch the early part of the show when I was telling the ones that were in the room at the time about the fact that um, that my trees are doing great. My trees are doing great. Yes. And let's see, Brown put a looks like a little devil there. You know, I guess that's one of those emojis or whatever they call them, emojis. But I will tell you this much: uh, the garden's doing good. I love my new trimmer. The new trimmer I have, the grass trimmer. Love that thing. I had no idea that they could make them so that they're saying hi Garden City Food Farms. Oh, okay, okay. No, sir, I just jumped on. Okay, all right, fantastic. All right, I'm gonna tell you something. Um, this will be the new time when my show will be running. It'll be like I'm telling everyone. It will be Mondays and Wednesdays, and it's gonna be tough for me, but I can do it. Monday and Wednesday at between 5 and 5:30, most likely 5:30. Just keep your eyes open for that. And then also there will be additional shows added if needed. That's how I'm going to do it. But that gives everyone some ground where they can say, okay, he comes on Mondays or Wednesdays, so we know in fact that's what he does. Um, Peaches are on the trees. I can't believe it. Check out the video when I put it up later this evening. Check out the video. You know, and I think you'll be quite surprised because all I did, folks, all I did was fertilize that tree, and they act crazy this year. Not all of my trees produce fruit this year. Not all of them. Some of them just said, I'm going to relax this year. I'm not going to do anything this year. And I just looked at it and said, wow. So, oh, hello, hello. But I'm telling you, folks, if you give those grapevines and you give those fruit trees something to eat when you go from cold, getting ready to warm up, and you see those. Here's how I do it, and I've been doing it like this for a little while now. When the buds start swelling, I feed my tree coming out of winter. When they start swelling, I feed them because it needs energy because we've been dealing with cold all winter long. And let's see, my grapes are blooming. Now, I like that your grapes are blooming. I like that your grapes are blooming. Guess what my grapevine did for me this year? Never did this before. All it did was went straight from leaves right straight to grapes. I can't even believe that. It was crazy. Um, they have you'll see the videos I put up. Um, I mean, the secret, one of the secrets or the tips to growing grapevines is really my grapevines are is really the pruning of it. The pruning of it. Don't if you have a great okay if you got a grapevine that's growing and it's happy and it's all got all these leaves all over. But if you have all these arms everywhere, trust me, if you take them arms and you look at them and you go, okay, all right, I'm going to take the big arms and I'm going to cut them down to this, and I'm going to take the small arms and leave like one. Like you'll see. I got some older videos. I'm trying to express this the correct way. The smaller limbs only have one bud on them. The bigger ones, two buds. And I made sure I even that out because sometimes you could have your grapevine set up from jump to fail. If you think you're gonna put on all these massive grapes, and if the tree, if excuse me, the vine's not old enough, or if your soil is not rich enough, that plant is going to struggle. So pruning is the deal, and pruning correctly is the deal. You've got to prune it correctly. If we're doing the same thing as if though you have a peach tree, and a peach tree is going to, if a healthy peach tree is going to grow up and a whole bunch of peaches all over it, everywhere, like mine did this year. They were everywhere. Uh, so I went through those trees. How many did I go to? One, two, three. I went through, wait a minute, one, two, oh, one, two, three, four. I went through all four of those trees, those peach trees. I took everything out of those trees that did not belong. All of the tiny peaches, because that's the tree rejecting it right there, getting ready to tell you I'm getting ready to drop these peaches. So I took them all off 6 inches apart. Um, and some of the peach were together like this. I took those out. I just thinned everything out that where the tree would go, okay, I think I might be able to balance this load. Um, Now, the same thing goes for grapevines. Grapevines will produce incredible, big, healthy grapes if you take some of that load off of them. Because I mean, they're going to all trees pretty much overproduce because their job is to make certain that their uh, genetics survive. So that's what they do. And if you're trying to make the tree produce a larger piece of fruit that's not only larger but sweeter. And the tree can't sweeten that fruit up if it's not old enough to do it, if it's not strong enough to do it. It's not going to be able to do that. So I had fun out there. It was a lot of work for me. I thought that when my arm got tired, I kept going up and letting them rest and going up and pulling more peaches off. I said, you know something? I should have split these up into 2 days because, but I said, no, I want all my peaches, done. Now tomorrow, we're getting ready to head into May. It's what is it now? It's April the 29th, and I'm going to do it 2 days early, but I'm going to go ahead and feed all my trees. I'm going to feed all my trees. Is what I'm going to do. Good day, morning. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Oh my goodness, people are piling in here. I hope I have enough room to get all of you in here. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Um, the thing about it is that I hope that a lot of you are not getting a lot of that. I love watching all these different videos because when I watch all these videos, you gotta really listen for all of it. You get a lot of good information, and you get some information that's not correct at all. People are saying things on there. You got to watch it. Now, everything I'm doing now for the last 6 years, and it's just been 6 years, because I had to go through what a lot of us go through when we first start gardening. You pick up books, you read through it, it tells you do this and that, and this and that, and this and that. 2 inches deep, don't plant it this too close, don't do this. And when you get through with all that foolishness, then you start mimicking Mother Nature, and then you're going to start growing food. You'll start growing food when you start mimicking Mother Nature. Um, I let all my stuff grow natural. I bought a new trimmer, and this new trimmer is beautiful. It's an Echo. It's balanced. I mean, I've never used a trimmer before that was so. It make you want to use. You make you want to use a trimmer. I used to go get those lower cost trimmers, and and by the way, I'm not working for Echo or getting any money from them or anything. I took a chance. I bought the product. It's one of the top of the line ones, and and I love it. It's balanced. It cuts right. It does exactly what I needed to do. So I cut all the grass down, all the weeds down. I got to go out there tomorrow and also hit some spots um, and get everything cut down. Because one thing you don't want weeds to get away from you. You got that's the most tedious thing you got in your garden to do is mostly your weeds. What is it? Weeds, being out there fertilizing, pruning. It's a lot of other work, but weeds takes up a lot of time, and they keep coming back and coming back and coming back and coming back, and that's what they do. But what I do is I trim all of them down. I welcome my weeds. My weeds are nothing to me but a welcome guest. They come in, they produce uh, uh, beautiful fertilizer for my soil, and I am absolutely thankful for that. And you should see what it's done for my soil. All those years I've been chopping and dropping, it has made my soil loose, black. Um, it's not so much clay like now. He has a good layer of topsoil on it, and the topsoil came from the grass and the weeds, is where it came from. And I have now beautiful. My neighbor cut a tree uh, in his yard. He trimmed off the branches. I got about 90 pounds of limbs. And I said, I asked him, could I have them? He said, yeah. And I laid them in my area where the compost is, and I just covered them all with compost, and also some weeds or whatever I had, left over. Some eggshells, boxes with the eggshells in them, and I just covered everything up. And then I planted in that compost pile, just like you would do a bale of hay. I planted in that compost pile, um, what they call it, the some seeds, some cucumber seeds, just for the heck of it. I said, put it in there. See, here's the attitude I'm thinking that most people should adopt. You're trying to create a natural environment for all your stuff to grow naturally, like Food Forest Permaculture does. I also went and checked out Garden City Food Forest. Let's see, I went and checked out Brown. And the thing about it is, you want a natural situation. If you got to go out there and do all this stuff to keep you, I got to keep my trees alive. Look, if that tree gonna die, it's gonna die. Um, you want to keep everything alive, but if you create a natural environment, that tree should adjust itself and fall into that click. But if your tree gets a disease and dies, that tree wasn't meant for that area. That tree was not meant for that area. All my trees, all of them have had diseases, and the tree would miraculously, with all the weeds and insects and everything, I let my stuff stay natural, and all that stuff would just it would be gone. I had something on my pear tree called blight. Some of you've heard of that, fire blight or something that nature, fire blight. And I remember listening to all the people at the Department of Agriculture was saying, "Oh, blight can kill your tree. Blight, well, if it's going to die, it's going to die. I'm not going to sit there and babysit this tree while I'll get another tree or a different type of tree that might be more resistant to that particular disease." But my point being is, when I lost my cherry tree, I knew that cherry tree died for a reason. It died because it wasn't going to make it anyway. Because I planted it correctly, I put it in the same location as all the other trees, but all the other trees survived. They were the same cherry tree type. They were 6, 7, 12, 8 feet apart. They didn't die, but that one did. It just died. And when I took it from the ground, it had no roots on it. So something ate off the roots, or it was something going on with some disease, but it had no roots on it. So I took that tree, cut it up, and threw it over into the compost pile. Only thing I'm saying is this: when you go to a forest, everything there in that forest is supposed to be there, and it survives because it has adapted. It has it understands what it's got to do to survive. These trees that they selling you from these stores, or you going to the box stores and getting, and you put them in the ground, if they're not going to make it, they were never meant to be there in that environment. That's why they're not going to make it. And I hear another thing people say a lot of things about, don't grow certain trees from seeds because they won't be true. They won't be true. They won't be true. I don't buy that, because I had a seed from my peach tree happened to germinate, and you know what it was? It had the nerve to try to grow another peach tree. It did. It was true to what it was, a peach. So I had I had a beautiful time, gathering that information and knowledge. I just pay attention. I just look at things in my garden. Pay attention to the smallest thing. Wood ash and biochar will balance the land. Wood ash 2 years. So usually. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. I have, excuse me, I have a pellet stove. I have a pellet stove. I used to get tons of ashes from it. Still do. I'm gonna tell you something about a pellet stove. I don't pay for ash. Somebody actually sent me an ad 2 3 days ago about buying ashes. I wish I would go to any human being and buy ashes. Hello, how you doing? How you doing? Lead farmer 73. Now there was something else up here. Let's say you ordered an apricot tree yesterday. Hope it's here by the weekend. Now, you have you planted trees before? You've done trees before. Brown, you've done trees before, and I want to know if that was a dwarf tree as well, because I see people going now for the lower cost. They'll buy the standard tree. They'll buy the standard tree. Yeah. Um, oh, okay. I say just cut from organic seed, and they have germinated. I wonder whether they fruit in the future. They should fruit. They should fruit. I mean, the natural cycle of things. A tree produces fruit so that it can carry on its genetics. Yes. Uh, um, okay, so lots of them. Yeah, because it was a person online one day, and they were putting a tree in the ground, and I'm gonna see if any of you follow this same thing. And you tell me what you think it is. Tell me what you think of my technique of planting a tree. Number one, I take it out of the box. I set it in some rainwater. I soak it for about 2 3 hours, 4 hours, whatever. And I dig my hole, and then I put the tree in the hole. I set it up, get it balanced correctly, and then I put the tree down. I don't tamp it with my feet. I don't do that. I water it in because water does a better job at getting the soil to fall around the roots properly, the way it should. Okay, so once I do that, and depending on what kind of soil I'm using, because if it's a clay soil, I kind of I raise the tree up a bit above the the uh, the level of the land. I don't want it to be flush with clay soil because I want to get as much air to those roots as possible. But here's what I do: I cut the tree off at 18 to 20 inches in height at a 45-degree angle, so rain doesn't sit on top of it and cause it to rot out. I don't need that. But I leave it. I cut it off because I want my new branches to come out at a level or at a height so that when they grow, they will not be too high up. I don't want my fruit all the way up where I got to reach for it. Now they're still going to do that to a degree, but not as bad. Because right now I have dwarf trees that I put in there like 20 feet tall. They're 20 feet tall, and guess what? When when they finish fruiting, they're coming right back down. They're coming right back down to 6 feet. Yep, that's what I do. I've been keeping those trees small for the last 6 years, and that's what I do because I imagine that if I let them get out of hand, and some people, what they do is they let the trees grow these huge branches on them. Well, I don't do that. I'm not in the whole thing to grow wood. I don't grow wood. I take them large branches out. When they start looking like they're the size of the trunk, I take them suckers out. Because all I want is young wood that's about a year, 2 years old, that's going to produce healthy fruit. But when they start getting real big and thick like logs, no, they gotta go. Let's see, 20 years. And I've been doing it now for the last about 18 years. You can also. Hello, how you doing? How you doing? Yeah, that sounds right. Proof of permaculture. Yeah, whenever you're using from seed, or if you're using a standard tree, you're gonna wait for that fruit. Now that's why I kept getting the dwarf trees because they have a potential to produce anywhere from 2 years, some a year, but usually 2 years and some 4 years. So I like the dwarf trees. Anyone has a coffee plant? Anyone have a coffee plant? No, not that I know of. See, my backyard neighbor has a huge apricot tree that nearly covers their whole backyard. Wow, that's a big tree. I don't know how big his backyard is, but you say that apricot tree. Does it produce fruit? 20 years apricot tree got swarm of bees. Okay, a swarm of bees in the tree. I think that's a good thing in a sense because when you got your own built-in pollinators. Okay, let's see. Yeah, let's see. Yeah. The seeds are like this. You could have a son, and he'll look a little like you, but he won't look exactly like you. You could have a daughter. Your daughter might have your eyes, might look like she had your chin, but she won't look identical to you. So that's seeds are like that. Seeds are like that. It's going to carry on the genetics of the plant, but it's going to be some variations there. That's what people mean to say when they say uh, it won't be true to the mother tree or whatever. It's going to be a peach tree. It's going to taste like a peach. It might be slightly different, but it will be a peach tree. It's not going A peach tree is not going to grow an apple or anything like that. It's going to grow a peach tree, and it's going to be a lot of genetic information from that mother and that father tree, or that other variety of tree that cross with it. People they say a lot of stuff when it comes to gardening. A lot of stuff. Some of it's way out there, and people kept coming up with all these old sayings over the years, and then people adopted them as truth because they didn't know. People had a lot of weird hang-ups about gardening. They would say things like, "You got to plant. You can't water your plants when the sun's up." What? So what do plants do when it's sunny out and then it just start raining? Do they grab an umbrella? Do they go indoors? No. And the trees and plants are fine. So when people say stuff like that, you got to go, oh, okay, But I've never had any problem watering my plants in the sun. I've never had any problem. Um, but I also found that there are certain times that are better for watering a plant because they just tend to be cooler for you to be out there, like early in the morning, later in the evening. Let's see. No coffee plant here. I wonder if I could grow. Okay, all right. Coffee plants. I remember once looking on eBay. Well, you can buy coffee seeds anywhere. You can buy because they got stores that sell coffee seeds uncooked, and yeah, coffee. Now, When you say it's best not to water plants after 5 p.m. Only problem I have with that is that sometimes it rains after 5 p.m. and sometimes it rains after 6 p.m. or 7 p.m. It rains. But what causes mildew a lot of times is when you got so much growth in the tree that there's no air circulation. So a person had to correct that first. I try to take my trees and keep them opened up so that they don't get too much, problems with mold due to the fact that there's no air circulating through them and they stay wet longer than they should. Yeah, that's something. All I do, folks, all I do is watch nature. That's it. That's all I do. I stopped trying to beat nature at its own game and I just started learning, okay, nature, how do you do this? Oh, I see what you're doing. Oh, I see what you're doing. That's what you're doing. You're fertilizing the soil in the you're fertilizing your soil in fall and in winter. Oh, okay, okay. Because look what nature does. Drops all its leaves, and when it drops all its leaves, that's when it's fertilizing. We come out there, run to Walmart or Lowe's, buy a whole bunch of expensive fertilizer, and then start putting fertilizer all over the ground, and that's the wrong time of year to be doing that. See you later. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. Anytime. Food forest permaculture. Right on. See you later. Yeah. Uh huh. Can we poke it down? Oh, okay. These little things got glasses on. What? Great day. Well, folks, it is uh, on the clock because I promised myself it's a sunlight. I laugh out loud. Now, food for our permaculture. Before you go, you've been doing some really great stuff on the videos. I want to just thank you for that because it's been a lot of good information. I've been watching them, and it just it just keeps everybody motivated. So I think that's a great thing. Uh, Garden City Food Forest. You do a good job as well. I like when I go to your channel and information is correct, and I listen to it. And I say, okay, that makes sense. All that makes sense, and I like that because none of us in here know it all. Not there's not one person in this room knows it all when it comes to gardening. So we can come in these rooms and we learn from each other. Hopefully, that's what we're doing, and it makes for a better exchange when you have that kind of attitude. Because there's some people in this room that are extremely knowledgeable. I have went to their sites, I've looked at their videos, I've listened to what they were saying. Thumbs up, everybody. And Lid Farmer, I'm not jumping on you now, but you got to put another video up, young man, when you get time. You got to put something up. Because I know your trees are doing something by now. Don't go changing, trying to please me. Never let me down before. I'm thinking about, let's see, food festival. Going to karaoke this evening, and it is now 6:08 on your dial, and that means that it's almost time for me to be out of here, folks. I'm going to, I said, of course, Leslie. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, thank you. As soon as possible, Miss Stephanie, she puts the videos up. Stephanie. Let's see what we got here. We got a lot of people came into the room today. A lot of people came in today for me. I mean, this is the first show I did at 5:30, and so I think I'm learning that some of you like this time frame, or you're able to make some of these shows. But if not, you'll always be able to see it up there. You know, as a pre-recorded. Let's see. Next greenhouse. Huh. This is all good. Thank you, folks. Well, on that note, I'm going to call it. Thank you very much. I want to say thank you, each of you, for being part of my first scheduled show. And I just appreciate it. I want to just thank you. And when I go do a couple of songs tonight, I will put one in for each of you. Well, not for each and every one of you, but I'll put one for everybody, for everyone. So on that note, thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for tuning in. This has been the Morning Garden, and I just want to say thank you. And remember, what is it I always say at the end? Keep on growing. Take care now, folks. All right.